International Affairs, Jermaine Sanwoolu, now joins us now from London to discuss this. Hello, Jermaine.
Hello, thanks for having me today.
Indeed. Let's just get into it. Why is David's backtracking now? He agreed to the negotiations weeks back with the EU. What changed? What changed?
Well, a lot has changed from the March when Article 50 was actually put forward for the Brexit process to actually happen. And they actually plan to have this negotiation in two phases. The first stage, which is going to focus on financial settlements, is going to focus on citizens' rights, and is also going to focus on the Irish border. And the second stage is going to be on trade relations and trade agreements. And what Dave Davis, the Brexit Secretary in the United Kingdom, is actually saying right now is that these two processes are inextricably linked, in his own words. So he said you cannot have one without the other. So he's saying that right now he believes that we should avoid having two discussions, that everything should be harmonized and synergized so that we know what we're negotiating from the beginning, knowing that trade is a very, very important part of this whole matrix of the best.
Okay, if you want to stay with that, also another knotty issue that I think David was also referring to has to do with the Northern Ireland, talking about the border control and what will be the future relationship. What do you envisage?
Well, that's going to be very, very interesting because it all dates back to the Blair era, close to 20 years ago with the Good Friday Agreement, that they agreed that there should not be any hard border between Ireland and Northern Ireland. Northern Ireland right now remains in the United Kingdom, and Ireland is out of the United Kingdom. It's actually in Europe. So what is actually happening on that border right now is when they negotiated the deal, Blair actually wanted to give some credit to the EU too and said that whatever happens in that deal and with that border, EU laws would have to be considered. So what will happen now is that if the UK should agree that there should be free flow of movement of people, which Brexit was actually set up to be against, that they want to actually cross-check and ensure that immigration is actually curtailed coming into the United Kingdom. If there is no border between Northern Ireland and Ireland, what will happen now is that there will be free flow of people between those countries, and it will be a loophole, so to say, in the whole Brexit agreement. The UK Prime Minister actually wrote a letter to the Irish people saying that they are going to honor the Good Friday Agreement and there's not going to be any kind of border and no hard border, because that hard border may cause some frictions. So the British government wants to ensure that there is monitoring of movement. The Brexit people say that those from the European Union say that they don't want that to happen. So it's a bit complicated, but that's going to be a very, very important thing that they will need to navigate strategically to ensure that the crisis in Northern Ireland is not actually sparked up again, and also to ensure that there is no loose movement of people and immigration in between the EU and the United Kingdom.
Back to the negotiation. What do you think the EU would do? They probably won't meet between now until October. That's what David is counting on. But do you think the EU will blink?
Well, the EU has been saying that UK and its proposals are actually fantastic, meaning they're just they are living in a world of fantasy that are not realistic, so to say. They are trying to, so to say, kind of cause like a delay in the whole process of things because they want to have their own way. They are very, very tough negotiators. We know Dave Davis is going to be going back next week to negotiate with them. He has released 5 papers which range from topics such as the goods and services to things when it comes to trade restrictions, also has to do with the jurisdiction of the European Court of Justice. He has released those 5 papers today to try and put forward their own ideology and idea to the EU to let them know this is what we are thinking about, and so that you guys can be ready when we are negotiating. So some people actually want this Brexit process to actually move forward, and some don't actually want it to move forward. Former Shadow Secretary, the Nigerian heritage, point, Chukwumuna actually said that he's not against the idea of a second referendum because he feels that the British public were not actually given enough information before they went into the Brexit, such as the £250 million that was meant to be gained for public sector investment. So there's a lot of things going on right now, but let's see how it goes.
Okay, we'll leave it there, but I probably want your opinion. If you go for a second referendum, how would you vote?
That's very, very interesting. I believe that both sides of the divide actually have a lot of benefits, and some actually argue, just like the Economics for Free Trade said, that 135 billion pounds are actually going to be brought into the UK economy if trade restrictions are actually reduced and tariffs are taken away. So it's I want to answer your question saying I would vote or I would not vote against.
Okay.
But let's see how it goes when information is provided for all of us. If
all
that
right,
happens.
silence is golden, isn't it? All right, many thanks for your time, Jermaine Sanwoolu, who
yes.
joined us from London.
Thank you for
Many
thanks. For having me.